finally arrived. I have been waiting for this. This is the Osiris by Modbap or Beat People. Not sure the full name there, but I got a link to their Instagram down below. Corey, shout out to you. Thank you so much for letting me have this. They've sent this over, but I swear the entire time I was like, when can I buy it? When can I buy it? When can I buy it? And he said it's on its way. And here it is, which is amazing. And I've kind of been jamming on this one simple little patch here, but I'm going to go ahead and load 3 really quick. And let me shred this up real quick. So I just want to listen to the, just the voice by itself. This has replaced this, the Surface, right? I was using this module for a hot minute. I've tried replacing it with a ton of other different things. And it was too good. But I've been messing with this for a while now. Again, thank you, Corey. Yes, they sent this over for free. No, he did not ask for a video. No, he did not pay for me to see this or check this out. This is not sponsored. He just sent it over for free. If you consider that sponsored, then I guess it is. But I really wanted to buy this thing, and he just wouldn't let me do it. Long story short, it's also from someone who used to work at Electron, SES. Link to his Instagram down below. He left Electron. He designed a lot of the Digitone FM and went on to designing this. So listen to this. Let me stop this real quick. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and mute this as well. Yeah, sure, why not? I got a lot going on. The patch is really simple. As always, Steppy's kind of running the gates. Mimetic's doing all my pitch modulation. The quantize here by Scales, or by IntelliGel, it's called Scales, is running all the quantization because I'm trying to play in a specific key, which is, I believe, G sharp minor, might be A flat minor. I always get them mixed up. A little B M. And what's great about this Osiris is, let me go ahead and take this out just to make sure we are keeping it as simple as possible. You actually have a quantize button here, which will then make the pitch move in octave. So I can go, right? And then your fine tune moves in semitones, but I got it tuned into C and I'm not gonna touch it. So we're good to go on that. Long story short, you got 4 banks, and each of these banks house a ton of different wavetables. And these wavetables can FM within themselves, but they also kind of do this smooth interpolation between one another. So for example, we're listening to this one here, our filter's all the way up. I'm gonna go ahead and turn our decay up a little bit. And I'm gonna just move wave Y. Submix. Oh, I forgot my patch cables. Okay, here's another interesting point. I haven't put it to full crazy use, but if I take output 2 of the mimetic, load 0 shred, you actually have your own separate sub octave volt per octave. Of course it sounds terrible because there's just nothing's really built to work with one another right now, but I thought that was really cool, because if you run this pitch up or even higher, you can tune the sub octave down -1 or -2. Of course, again, it sounds awful, but you get the idea. And by no means is this going to be some insane, crazy, in-depth tutorial. That's kind of not my thing. I've just been messing with this a lot. And actually here, I'll go ahead and play this. Right, and I'm going to load back to 1. And let me turn sub off. Listen. Yo. Done. So then I got Nar on this and basically did the whole Tejada Classic, took the trigger, sent it to channel 1 on the Maestro, which of course isn't clocked or anything. It's just kind of going insane right now. Let me go ahead and stop the clock. But I just have LFO1 being triggered independently, and LFO1 is set to random, and it's also set to a 16th now, which is where I wanted it. And I can smooth out the interpolation, or I can leave it pretty drastic. And what this is going to do is every time a trigger is sent, it's going to reset randomly LFO1 to a new position. And then I can take this position and move knob Y or wave Y using this value. So right now, or this value I should say, LFO1 is going into one here of the sync deferral, which is just an attenuator. It's just turning down the power of LFO1. And that's going to this here. And I can run it to wave Y. You can see its value there. And if I turn this up a little bit, turn our filter all the way up. Yes. Same thing, go to 1 and smooth that out. Oh. Lower that a little. Do you hear this? And this is like not even diving into what this thing can do. This is just the core voice. I'm telling you, I've been waiting for a module like this for a long time. Yes, it is, I believe, 12 HP, a little on the big side. I sadly had to move my Javelin, which is way too far away for me to grab. I'm not even going to bother. I had to remove the Javelin, replace it with the Sync Bacina, which is this analog low-pass gate by Noise Engineering, which is really dope. I actually have the envelope shape being sent out to move the filter, which sounds really good because it kind of has this weird organic-y low-pass gate nature to it, especially with these kind of plucky bass lines. So it is a little on the bigger side than I would like, but I mean, come on, listen to that voice. It sounds so, so good. I'm gonna go ahead, mute the chords, and I'll just go ahead and yeah, we'll go back to this, which is just this. Look, you have a fidelity here. This thing runs at 96 kilohertz, so it's super hi-fi, right? I've seen other things like, of course, Peak's Oxford oscillators, which run at 24 megahertz instead of like 96 kilohertz. But this thing sounds really good, and the fidelity of the hi-fi to lo-fi will start going and kind of drifting things around, and then eventually start adding some noise. Oh, let me turn the filter up, sorry. There you go. So, full hi-fi. Get a little hair on it. Let me turn off this wavetable modulation. And then it just starts to getting like bit crush, bit reduction, sample rate reduction, jitter, all that nastiness. Another great thing on here is you have timbre amount, and you have 8, I believe it's 8 different timbre modes, or 6. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so you have 6, goes to FM, and then FM 1 through 8 is a bunch of different ratios for 2 to 1 or 1 to 2 or some weird FM stuff. But I like this very bottom one, which is unison. Right, immediately. This works across all wavetables. Remember that big Juno chorus I was talking about? Sidechain. 1 second. We'll just go crazy with it for right now. Might as well, right? Oh, too crazy. I'm gonna take another pluck real quick. Messed up. All black keys. Back to the keys. Buddy. Okay, hold on. What was I talking about? Don't really know. Osiris is awesome. I guess some other things I should probably... I mean, honestly, straight up, that's probably as far as I'm going to push this thing. I'm going to do some weird modulation using the Maestro, of course, run it through the sync, just so I can kind of tame it a little bit, and kind of keep it within one wavetable bank, because you have so many different wavetables on X that all interpolate like insanely when you use knob Y. But all of this is kind of like an XY like graph or plane that everything kind of keeps moving back and forth between. And you have 4 banks and a micro SD card, which you can load your own wavetables onto this thing. And there is a wavetable editor. I believe it's just for Mac. On the desktop, on a PC, or on a Mac, that you can use to edit this thing. You got your submix. It has so many things that make it very useful and very playable to me. It kind of removes a lot of those weird gripes I had about modular stuff, like having a quantized pitch. Thanks. I don't have to worry about it drifting or doing something weird. Having a sub oscillator with a different wave shape with its own volt per octave, which is awesome. Has a built-in VCA, has a built-in decay knob, so I don't necessarily need the sync to Pharaoh. I just like using the sync because I can use it to control the filter envelope on my filter. And in case you're wondering how important that is to me, check this video out here. Yeah, it's freaking awesome. There's so many crazy things you can do with this thing. Like if I were to take, let me take another trigger, right? And I want to run that into 2. On 2, I want to have this set to random, 16th, no smooth. And I'm going to run 2 into 3 just so I can really confuse myself. That's not going to be fun. And I'm going to run this to the decay. So similar to 1, where 1 is always going to be changing wave Y, 2 is now going to be changing the decay amount of the Osiris. But by default, let me turn this real quick. By default, the sync Bacina is kind of taming it all, right? If I turn the sync Bacina all the way up, you can already hear that number 2 is changing the decay amount. Right, and if I run 2 in bipolar mode, it's just gonna knock it out. Right, I personally, I'm just gonna take bipolar off and I'm gonna run it to smooth too, so it's kind of smoothly moving the knob around. If I turn up 1, and go to 1, and I'm gonna, oh, 1's already smoothed out. So that's kind of moving the Y knob smoothly. But if we turn that off, it's a lot more drastic of a change in a shorter amount of time. But check this out. I can go ahead and move this around. And it's just gonna completely change the voice up. If I go to like bank C, there's just so much sound possibility with this thing. Let's go to D. Back to A. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. What's cool too is this weird wave, I forget what this one's called. It's like a wave thinner. But when you turn up the timbre amount, it like thins out the wave shape, making it more thin and hollow. Duh. And again, all this stuff is modulatable. That's a word, right? Let's say I take another output of, let's just say 2, and I go into our timbre amount. Right, turn our decay down on here. Go down an octave. Or go up 2 octaves, turn the sub up. I mean, that's really it. This thing's nuts. It's crazy. Sounds really good. I'm happy it's finally out. I'm happy it exists. I'm gonna keep it in the case as long as I can. I do wish it was a little smaller, but hey, for this sound, I'm willing to make that sacrifice. So, yeah. Anyway, again, Corey, Beat People, Modbap, appreciate you all. Thank you so much for sending this out. Thank you for giving it to me. I'm not sending this thing back. It's mine forever, and I've been waiting for this moment for too long. Anyway, if you want to support the channel, I sell some merch here, of course. And until then, it's always good to see you. I appreciate you coming by. Thanks for hanging out. And I hope to see you again next week. And until then, you already know the drill. Share the love, share the knowledge. Knowledge is power. Peace.